With a former WWE star breaking her silence and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. With her having been absent from WWE since her loss at WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair said this about it to Boardroom. When it comes to the business side, I feel as a performer, my position isn't going to change. Maybe if I was brand new, but my job as a performer is just to make who's behind the headphones in Gorilla happy, and then the fans. I don't really get wrapped up in what's happening there, but the sale is a big deal. I'll be interested to see what happens in the future with Endeavor. For me, I went from having never any off days to getting injured last year after WrestleMania and being off for 7 months, and then now off again for a couple weeks for something that I needed to take care of, so it's a blessing and a curse. Like, no one wants to be injured, but having that first time off for that extended amount of time, I think that was definitely healthy for my mindset. Talking about her goals in pro wrestling, she noted, I think now it's just getting to that next level. Like, I know that my name is popular within sports entertainment, but I want to get to that male level of John Cena, The Rock, Batista still. I want to cross over like my dad has so gracefully, and I'll continue to do that until I get to that point. I hate that I started so late in the game, but I'm here. I think that's just a matter of time. Talk about AEW President Tony Khan's responsibilities in the company following the hiring of a long-term creative writer in Will Washington, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio. Tony Khan was never by himself. He always had QT Marshall, he always had Sanjay Dutt, and a couple of others. Tony Schiavone. Who else is in that mix? Pat Buck. And at other points, Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, MJF, Jericho, Moxley, and Punk. They all have had significant input into AEW. So it's not like it's Tony Khan doing a one-man show, but he is the final boss, and that won't change. He's still going to be the final boss, and he should be the final boss. Fightful previously noted this about Will Washington's creative position in AEW. Among the duties Washington will be helping with are overseeing continuity and aiding in long-term creative, working directly with Tony Khan. Washington's deal was official on Thursday, April 27th, just ahead of his last DAD broadcast. Washington is one of the first wrestling podcasters in the space and has done over 1,000 broadcasts over 18 consecutive years of podcasting. With Vickie Guerrero's daughter previously claiming that she was abused by her stepfather, Chavo showed support for her and recently said this about his relationship with Vickie, telling WrestleBinge, I don't really talk to Vickie. We don't talk, especially after this and her response. I was kind of like, ugh, that's just not good. When it comes to how much WWE got paid to host the upcoming Backlash event in Puerto Rico, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics noted that WWE CEO Nick Khan claimed the company received a 7-figure subsidy for the event. As Thurston added, $1.5 million according to my reporting, with on-record comment from a government official. For the live event side of the business in WWE, it was said in the company's first quarter 2023 earnings report that North American live events ticket sales revenue increased 52% over the prior year period, reflecting a 37% increase in average attendance. Recalling an interesting Drew McIntyre story from his early days in WWE, former writer for the company Freddie Prinze Jr. said on his podcast, bro, they did it to English-speaking dudes like Drew McIntyre. So they did that with Drew McIntyre. When I first worked there, they called him up from FCW and they're like, you have to lose the accent. I was like, what? You can't make him do that. He's not a trained actor. He's never worked on his voice. He is a big-ass dude from Scotland. With her stalker and attempted kidnapper getting sentenced to 15 years in prison, Sonya Deville addressed this in a recent Instagram post, writing, "Thank you to everyone who has reached out today. After almost 3 years, we finally got some closure last week. I am happy and healthy and have amazing people by my side. To say it's over feels odd, but I am beyond grateful for the support and help I received over the past 3 years from Tampa PD to everyone in the courts, attorneys, friends, security, and so many more. I have a lot to say pertaining to this situation, which I feel can help a lot of people in similar situations now that the legalities are over, but for now, thank you. With JD McDonagh being called up to the main roster, this was said about him potentially becoming a member of the Judgement Day, as Boozer666 wrote. JD for JD is being discussed heavily, not yet approved. In a video, Booker T can be seen on commentary during NXT ordering food, with him addressing this on his Hall of Fame podcast. It was the end of the show. The show was over. It had nothing to do with me. I was going to be exiting the building shortly after that. I wanted my meal hot and ready to go when I got there. Booker then said this about stars being called up to the main roster. Some of my favorites left, and they're moving on to bigger and better things. Congratulations. I'm glad to see them move on to the next level because, you know, guys like JD McDonagh. I didn't know JD McDonagh had put that much time into the business. I really didn't. I was listening to him talk just earlier today, and I think he said 21 years that he's put in this business. He said around the 16 mark, he just didn't think he was going to get a shot. But he just kept pushing, and boom, NXT has led him now to the main roster. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I think I might have ordered DoorDash again at the end of the JD McDonagh match because I was looking down, I was doing something. I might have been messing with my notes or something, but I was totally unaware of my surroundings, and then the next thing you know, somebody came this close to me and then gave me like the biggest kiss right there on the jaw. I look up and it's JD McDonagh. I was like, wow, that was really cool because he appreciated the way I treated him in his time in NXT. I was always pushing for that guy. I was always trying to make sure that there was some spotlight on JD McDonagh because I always thought this dude is next level. He's a star. He really is. Give him a shot. For him to come to me and do that on his exit, it was awesome. A little bit, you know, but that's on me. I gotta be on my P's and Q's, but no doubt I was trying to make sure I get my meal ready and hot because I'm gonna be out of there, bro. I had a long day. You know how long it had been since I had American food? That right there in itself should give me the right to do what the hell I wanted to do at that moment in time. Mentioning how he nearly lost his life in Mexico, Joaquin Wilde said on Out of Character, "It's unbelievable. I think sometimes because it wasn't just that this injury happened and it should have ended my career. It should have been in my life." I remember speaking to a gastroenterologist 2 months after the injury happened. When he looked at my x-rays and told him my story and whatnot, he looked at me and said, "I feel like I'm talking to a ghost right now. You should be dead." I just thought to myself, why was I given the second chance? Why was I spared? Why am I still able to wrestle? Why am I still alive? And I just always thought it's because there must be something left for me to achieve in this business. And yeah, I guess WWE was that thing, and here we are. I'm so glad that it all worked out. With her debuting for Impact Wrestling, Trinity Fatu revealed this about her previous run in WWE, Tongue Busted Open Radio. What people don't know, I worked with a torn labrum for over a year. Just wrestled, kept wrestling like that, and didn't say anything because you don't want to look weak. You don't want to look like there is a problem. You don't want to be taken off TV, none of that. I just wanted to keep working. So I continued to work with a shoulder injury, and that was affecting me. It didn't feel good. When I got the time off, the first thing I did was get my shoulder fixed. I had shoulder surgery, some months off like that, not being able to work, and just having all of it gone. At one point, I was like, I'm done. I don't think I'll wrestle ever again. Just working through it all myself, mentally, having a great support system, and seeing the fans be like, we want you back. We want to see you. How are you doing? The support and my family, I got back to where I needed to be, got through the injury, got through the surgery. All of that was a lot mentally. I did have surgery, I had a torn labrum. All of that was just a lot mentally. Also, being off the road after that's all I've known over the last 13 to 14 years. That has been my life. Being with my husband every day, traveling every day, and all of a sudden, just sitting home alone in all of it to sort through. It was a lot, but I feel it's made me stronger mentally. Physically, I feel great. Just having that time to really miss wrestling, really miss miss the business, really miss the job. I was like, oh no, this ain't it. I can't go out like this. We have to run this back. Trinity also said this about her life prior to her WWE departure. I chose and wanted to be an Impact. The doors are open for me everywhere, literally everywhere, but I truly feel like Impact is the best choice for me at this point in my life right now with what I want to do, and to just be able to work with the talent there. I feel that is where I'll be happiest and most utilized and really get to grow in the ways that I feel that I need to right now on this wrestling journey. Had all of this stuff never happened, there's no way that I would have took that leap, but the situation kind of forced me to figure it out. That's what I meant when I said everything was a blessing in disguise, because I was really going through a lot. I felt very stagnant and I wasn't happy. Ultimately, I left that day because of the way I was talked to and handled. Everything kind of just broke me that day. It had nothing to do with anything else, anybody else. That was just it. I had to go through all the backlash and the negativity and the lies and the rumors, and then to also kind of just feel lost. It broke me. It was probably the lowest I've ever felt in my life. But going through that made me reset and face it head on and figure out how to learn from this experience and grow from it and just find myself again in all of it. I'm extremely happy now and really thankful for this opportunity to show that you haven't seen me at my best yet. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.